What's the Chow Chin Chows? GHP Eats Games here, your coach of the Chester Chin Chows, and today we are starting Season 3 of the WSS, the World Showdown Series, and of course, what is a draft analysis without my assistant coach? He is my tag team partner in this. I am not the Chester Chin Chows, we are the Chester Chin Chows, and of course, Darude.
Hey guys, it's the Rude Leaf Storm here, and yeah, we're back for another league. We're back with the WSS, and we've got a powerful team this time, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it this time. And it's funny that you say about the tag team thing, especially with the nicknames. So I like it.
Yeah. I mean, to tell you the truth, one day we should enter that, what is it, the multi-battle league? Me and you would sweep in there.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, that would be a thing. That would be fun, actually.
Anyway, let's take a look at this team. So the draft happened on Saturday last week, around about 7 o'clock my time, which was great for me because the fact is I didn't have anything done, I didn't have anything to worry about. It was pretty good for the Americans, not as slightly as okay for the Australians. By the way, there's a lot of Australians in this league, so this is going to be a really interesting way for me to schedule battles because they're on the other side of the world, literally the other side of the world. Their morning is like my way nighttime, or on the opposite. So like it's going to be hard.
Yeah, it's not a fun time, but we'll get through it.
Anyway, so let's take a look at our first round pick. First round pick, we got drafted. We got the draft order of third. I actually really like being closer to the wheel than I've been. This is really good for me to be third because I was able to get practically everything I wanted and not get sniped.
Because I think we didn't get sniped once, did we?
Not once, and we did snipe a few people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people wanted some of our mons. But anyway, let's start off with our first mon, which of course is Rey Mysterio, our Jirachi. I love Jirachi, straight 100s across the board when it comes to its stats. It is amazing. It is a physical hitter, it is a special hitter, it is a tank. It could do literally anything. I mean, I love Mew because it's so versatile, but Jirachi is the exact same.
Yep. Jirachi was our main focus around this plan, and when we heard we got third, we were pretty confident that we could get Jirachi. We weren't 100% though because of how good Jirachi can be, especially in league format with its insane move pool from its event moves. It's a good wish passer as well as it can set up rocks and just be annoying with Scarfed Ironhead. With that Serene Grace ability, yeah, people are not going to have fun with that 60% flinch chance on Ironhead. So yeah, I think Jirachi is definitely a very, very good pick. And I think getting it so early on was definitely worth it because it is a very, very good mon. And like you said, it is similar to Mew in some ways. I'm pretty happy that we was able to get Jirachi. So yeah, not much else to say about Jirachi apart from it's pretty good.
I mean, I love this Pokemon. U-turn, Wish. We could do a lot of great things with this. We could set up Toxics. We can Ironhead. This thing is going to be amazing. I love Jirachi. Mm-hmm. So, Rey Mysterio, you better do me well this time.
I'm sure he will.
Anyway, so then we went to our second round pick, and again, I don't know how this lasted so long for it to get back to me, because on the way back, I was like 10th, so I was really late in the wheels, but it got back to me, so I can't believe it. Arcanine, Edge is here.
Yep, we managed to pick up Arcanine, and Arcanine was definitely one of those mons that we didn't really expect to get, but we were really hoping that we did. Because of Arcanines, well, its capability. It gets priority in E-Speed, which is very, very good priority. It also gets reliable recovery in Morning Sun, as well as decent coverage, as well as stuff like Roar for phasing setup mons. And it gets a decent amount of coverage as well with stuff like Outrage, Wild Charge, Flare Blitz as well as Close Combat. So it can really do a lot. And Arcanine is definitely one of those mons where you look at the team and you think, right, what is this Arcanine going to do? Is it going to have Flash Fire? Is it going to have Intimidate and be bulky? Is it going to have Justified, which can work in some situations, especially since, spoilers, it is our Z move user. So what we can do with Justified is switch in on a knockoff, obviously not take that much damage because we're holding a Z crystal, and then we can fire off a +1, say, Inferno Overdrive from Flare Blitz and completely annihilate something. So I think this is a very, very good pick, and I'm very happy we got it. So yeah, we managed to pick up Arcanine, so I'm pretty happy.
I mean,
with this.
I've seen this thing do amazing damage, and also the fact is, I've faced this thing a few times, and it is bulky. It is a bulky mon too. Definitely. And in fact is, if you can set up the sun, and you can possibly put up Morning Sun, even Morning Sun on its own without the sun is still amazing.
And it gives us a Will-O-Wisp mon as well, which is definitely something every draft should have, in my opinion. So I'm glad we were able to get Arcanine. It just fit the roles we were looking for so early on. So yeah, I'm very happy we got Arcanine.
And one more thing about Arcanine I want to say is we sniped Josh and we also sniped Blue Jay out of this because they were both looking at it. From what I've seen of their draft analysis, they were both looking at this. And they were also both looking at our next Pokemon, Tentacruel or Papa Shango.
Right. What is it to say about Tentacruel? Well, we were actually debating between quite a few Pokemon in... What tier was this? It was tier 3, right?
Yeah, this is tier 3.
Tier 3. We were debating between quite a few Pokemon in tier 3. But I did say to Joe, I definitely think we should pick up at least one Toxic Spike user, because Toxic Spikes are just... It's becoming my favorite move in this game because of how much havoc they can cause. Because the thing is, with Toxic Spikes up, you either have to Rapid Spin them away, which could actually get the Rapid Spinner poisoned, or you have to bring a Poison type just to absorb the Toxic Spikes. So I feel like having Toxic Spikes just there is amazing. It also gives us a Rapid Spinner. It gives us a knockoff user as well as a Scald Abuser, which is something we didn't have yet. And as well, it has Haze to get rid of any setup mons that want to try and set up on us. So yeah, I definitely think this was a very good pick. There's also quite a few moves I'm looking at right now that I actually had no idea Tentacruel even got, but they're quite interesting. But I'm not gonna say it because, you know, we could use them at some point. But yeah, we were looking at quite a few things. I think one option we were looking at was Primarina. Another one I was thinking of later on was something like Nidoqueen for Toxic Spikes if we didn't get Tentacruel. But we felt like Tentacruel was just a good option overall. So I'm very happy with this pick, actually. So yeah, we got Papa Shango on the team.
I really like Tentacruel, and the fact is, Toxic Spikes, if you were watching round 1 of the NFE tournament, Toxic Spikes and Haze won us that match. If it wasn't for those things on Marini, we wouldn't have won. And Papa Shango can get them too, and probably does a better job than Marini would do with them.
I mean, I'm just saying, Marini is a very, very Pokemon. I love Marini so much. But yeah, I really like Tentacruel, and I'm very glad we were able to pick it up. So we got our first Hazard Remover as well, which is very, very nice. And it is a Spinner. And a Spinner that doesn't really mind taking on spin blockers, because things like Golurk, and basically any Ghost type, since we do carry the knockoff, and as well as we can use Scald to burn the potential spin blocker, I think it would work very nicely. So yeah, we got Tentacruel.
Okay. And then we went to our next tier 3 Mon, which I really like. Again, another rapid spinner, so we don't need to worry about rocks or toxic spikes on our end of the field. Especially not with Trishtratus or Serena?
I think it's Serena. I think it's just Serena.
Serena.
Okay. It is a very weird name. But yeah, Serena is actually becoming one of my favorite Pokemon to use in League format. And it's very weird because it doesn't get a great moveset overall. Basically, if this is your only hazard remover, you're going to be running Rapid Spin, U-Turn, Trop Kick, and Synthesis every week. But the thing is about Serena is that it gives you a very, very good U-turner. And that's the thing I love about Serena personally. Because of its very weird speed tier, it can outspeed the threats that it needs to, and it can underspeed the threats that it needs to slow U-turn on them. And it can just build you so much momentum, and that's the thing I love about Serena, as well as its ability, Queenly Majesty. Now, if you don't know what this does, this actually protects you from priority moves. So this can stop, well, really anything like a Mach Punch Infernape, even though you probably won't end up staying in on Infernape. But, you know, Pokemon that really rely on their priority can really, really get shut down by this Pokemon, as well as its move Trop Kick, which is I think it's 90, what base power is this? Sorry, no, it's 70 base power, but it has a 100% chance to lower the target's attack stat by 1, which is very, very good, because it can allow you to 1v1 those physical threats that you need to. And the thing is I love about it as well, it gives us very good synergy with Tentacruel, since Tentacruel is a very specially bulky mon. If we can lower the attack with Trop Kick, then Tentacruel can switch in on those physical threats a lot better, set up some toxic spikes, rapid spin the rocks away, go for them Scalds. So yeah, I really, really like Serena. As well as it does have offensive capabilities, because it does have an attack stat of 120, which some people completely forget about because of how much it's used as just a bulky mon in general. So yeah, we picked up Serena, and I'm very happy about this pick, and I'll be looking forward to prepping with you with this mon. So yeah, what do you have to say about Serena?
I really like this mon. I mean, Trop Kick is an interesting thing. I've never ran it before because Serena's one of those 7th gen mons I haven't had a chance to run with yet. But it's a very, very interesting move, and it can do very well. U-turn is amazing, and I love having so many U-turners on this team. Rapid Spin is going to be amazing to use again. Oh my god, this thing is going to woo.
It's certainly hope so.
Then we went on to tier 4. I got this mon a little earlier than I wanted to, because I was beginning to think I kind of needed it right now, just in case, because I didn't want to lose out on it. And you Darude, was saying that how good this mon is, and you think this mon is going to be like the main MVP of the team.
I certainly hope it is, because this mon, I mean, I know from experience, this mon completely stalled me out in one of my league battles. I mean, frankly, it's because I missed a move, but, you know, it did stall me out, and I think got like 4 kills versus me. So yeah, this mon can definitely put in a lot of work, and I'm so excited that we got it.
Okay, so and I'm talking about Kalito v Comfey. Now, Comfey is a very, very interesting mon. I mean, it is fairy type. I always thought Steel Fairy because it sort of looks that way, but it's not. It's just fairy. It's got some interesting moves. It can do really well, and of course, the one ability that we're going to be worrying about is Triage. I love this thing.
And another thing I just saw as well, we were talking about Trick Room before, and this mod actually gets Trick Room.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had no idea. I,
It's one of
I
that's gonna be one of the fastest Trick Room setters then.
yeah, I mean, I had no idea it got Trick Room. But yeah, Comfy. So, what to say about Comfy? Well, it is a very annoying, very, very annoying. Priority stab a draining kiss is a pain to deal with because I think it's 75% of damage dealt you recover in HP. So if you get Calm Minds up and then just spam draining kiss, you're basically never gonna die. Um, it's a fast taunt user, base 100 taunt user, which is actually something we're lacking at the moment. A taunt user. I believe. I don't think we have one yet. No, we do not. So that's very good. It gets priority synthesis. It gets U-turn. It gets leech seed. It gets. It's. I mean, it gets that draining kiss, which is going to be the main thing we're worrying about. And we just learned it gets trick room as well. So this mon is very, very scary. And another strategy I literally have just thought of is it gets wrap. So what you can do is you can wrap a bulky mon, say, what should we say? Let's say Cophagrigus, right? No, we can't wrap Cophagrigus, never mind. Let's say, I don't know, bulky mon, Vaporeon. We can wrap a Vaporeon, have sub on Comfy, have Calm Mind and Draining Kiss, and just set up all over the Vaporeon, and then proceed to destroy everything on the team. But yeah, definitely a very, very good mon. From what I've seen anyway, especially with its base special defense of 110 and base 90 defense. Base HP is a little bit but not to worry about that. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to use Comfy, and I hope you are as well, because I think this thing will be one of those mons that people won't expect to do as well, but will just destroy. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, this thing is going to be amazing. And then I believe this is the one you actually wanted me to pick up round 4, our next pick, but it still didn't go. So it was no need to worry about it really. But we got Neville, and Neville is our Gliscor. I mean, I love little bro Regliga, and Gliscor, his older brother. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I definitely felt like I felt like Gliscor could have gone, definitely. But it didn't, so we didn't really have to worry about that. Our backup for Gliscor was Hippowdon, though, so we did have a backup for it if it did end up going. But the reason I wanted Gliscor was because of its fast taunt. Again, base 95 taunt is really, really nice. As well as it gets a very, very wide moveset in things like Fire Fang, Ice Fang, Knockoff, Poison Jab, Rock Slide, Rock Polish, Baton Pass, Roost. It gives us another U-turner. It gets Sword Stance as well. X Scissor, and obviously Earthquake. So yeah, as well as it can be just a nuisance with Poison Heal, and just a stally set. Because the thing is as well, this really helps us out because we can switch in Gliscor on a potential Toxic for our bulkier mons as well. And again, it works really nicely with Tentacruel because Gliscor is a very physically defensive mon, whereas Tentacruel is a very specially defensive mon, and they have pretty decent synergy together. Tentacruel obviously being weak to ground, Gliscor being immune to that, Gliscor's biggest weakness being ice, and Tentacruel can switch into that very, very easily. So I'm really happy with this pick, and I'm glad we got it. And it gives us a second rock setter, which is something we needed. So yeah, I'm very happy that we got Gliscor. So yeah, not much else to say about Gliscor.
I love Gliscor. This thing is going to be amazing. And 1 week, Darude, can we please run Poison Hill Toxic Orb and just like be like the bulkiest mon ever?
Oh, 1 week? We're going to do that almost every week, my dude. We are going to stall everyone out.
Because I've seen Gliscor do some like amazing stalling with Toxic Orb and stuff like that. I've seen this thing doing it.
Very, very annoying. Especially if you run like Sub, Protect, Toxic, and Roost or Earthquake. It literally can just stall an entire team out. It is crazy. And as you can see from our team, we kind of drafted a pretty bulky team, and that definitely shows with our next couple of picks. So yeah, I am really, really excited for this team.
Okay, so the second half of our draft, and it went pretty nicely. I mean, I like the second half as well as much as the first half, but we started off with an interesting mon. We went for Druggon. I mean, I like Druggon. Druggon is an interesting mon. I love shiny Druggon, by the way. Orange and green is just so amazing.
I really like it as well. Some people don't like it as much, but I think it looks really cool because it looks like a pumpkin. I don't know. It's just it looks like a pumpkin head. I like it. But yeah, Druddigon. Right. Let's talk about you, my friend. So Druddigon is a very, very interesting Pokemon, I want to say, because it gets 3 amazing abilities in Rough Skin, Sheer Force, and Mold Breaker. Now, Mold Breaker probably on this Pokemon isn't the one you're going to be running as much, but it can be very, very useful. And the reason it can be so useful is for stuff like, especially stuff like Mimikyu's Disguise, which is in this generation. You can break through the disguise because of Mold Breaker and potentially just one-shot it with an Iron Head. So things like this are very, very important to have on a team, in my opinion. And Druddigon gave us a lot of things that some of the other dragons didn't give us. It gives us amazing coverage, first of all. Like, Druddigon's moveset is so open, and it gives us Roar, which is a phasing move, which is something we needed. It gives us Rocks as well, so it can take a little bit of pressure off of Gliscor and Jirachi. It gives us another Taunt user, which Taunt user is just amazing to have. It gives us a Glairmon, which is very, very nice, since we don't have that many Thunder Wave users at the moment, but we have a Glare now in Druddigon, and Glare's very nice to have because we can paralyze the faster ground types as well. So that's very nice. Other than that, not really much else to say about this mon. It's very, very good at, well, breaking down the more physical base mons with the Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet set. So I think this mon is something we kind of needed on the team. So that's why we picked it up so early. So yeah, I'm really happy with this pick. So yeah, what have you got to say about Druddigon?
Well, I really like this mon. I mean, it's just really interesting. That attack stat is absolutely amazing on this thing. And we could just, like, play around. We could set up rocks with someone, and then this thing could be literally the mon we just roar and play around with. Or we could even Dragon Tail and play around with them too. And that'd be so cool to do. It's Earthquake. There's a lot of good moves here. Iron Head. Like, I'm literally showing, like, Iron Head and Outrage right now. But literally, that could just go to town on anyone.
Exactly. And the thing is as well, you mentioned the base 120 attack stat. That is something that people, again, really don't expect. I mean, if you look at top threats in OU, like Bisharp, it has base 125 attack, and people know that thing for hitting so hard. And like Charizard X, base 130 attack, that's not that much higher than Druddigon's. So it's, again, one of those Pokemon that people don't expect to have so much power behind them, but do, like Serena as well. So yeah, I'm very, very happy we got Druddigon. And I'm very surprised, actually, that we were able to pick up our next pick. So yeah, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how this thing stuck around for 6 rounds and not got picked. I honestly don't understand this. But Hornswoggle is here. Hornswoggle, Rotom Wash is amazing. I love this mon. It is so much more bulky, which is annoying because the fact is it has the exact same typing as my mascot, and I kind of wish my mascot was just like this.
Yeah, I mean, we could have picked up Lantern, you know? I actually completely forgot that mon existed. So I'm sorry, Joe, but
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I will find one day, one league where I can use Lantern Lantern one day. But like Rotom Wash is amazing, and Rotom Wash is here. Talk to us about Rotom Wash.
Right. Okay. So Rotom Wash. So we picked this mon up mainly because it fits our team very, very well, actually, with its only weakness being grass. And I mean, we have Jirachi, Arcanine, Serena, and Druddigon that are all resistant to grass. So I think this team works very well with Rotom Wash, especially with it being a Levitate mon. Now, our first three picks were Jirachi, Arcanine, and Tentacruel, which were all very, well, they're not very weak to ground, but they're weak to ground. So we now have things that can take on, like Serena, who can take on the more physical ground types, like, for example, Landorus without the Supersonic Sky Strike, obviously. And we also have Gliscor, which is a flying type Pokemon, so it can obviously take on ground types. But obviously it can't really take on the special ones, since they can just put HP Ice on it and then, you know, kind of have fun with our lives. But we now have Rotom Wash as well, who has the ability to Levitate, which is very, very helpful. And I think that's why we kind of chose this over any other electric type, because it does give us that Levitate, which is something that really helps our team out a lot. Our other option, we were thinking of Raikou as well, as a backup electric type. But we felt like because of our ground weakness at the start, that Rotom Wash was better to balance it out, because now we have 2 immunities to ground and a resistance. So that's really helpful for us. And yeah, Rotom Wash is very, very good. It's kind of a one-trick pony, but not really at the same time, because it can run screens, it can be Scarfed, it can run Trick, it can run Foul Play for any Swords Dancing mons, it can run Will-O-Wisp, it can obviously run T-Wave as well as obviously running like Hydro Pump as a very, very powerful stab move. And it gives us a Volt Switch mon as well, which is something we haven't got so far. So yeah, I really, really like Rotom Wash. Even though it is very one-dimensional, I think it's a very, very good one-dimensional Pokemon. So what do you have to say about Rotom Wash?
I really like this Pokemon. I think this Pokemon is going to be amazing to run. Volt Switch is going to be a priority. Scald will be amazing to run too, for burns. And this thing is very bulky as well, so you just run with lefties, and there you go. This thing can do some serious work. And another bulky mon, which we're going to get onto now, is of course a mon that we both said we were going to run when we looked at Tier 5. And I still can't believe we were able to get this, because in the IBL I wanted this, and it went before me. And now I finally get the chance to run with this. I'm talking about Typhoon the Lickilicky.
Yep, he got sniped from us in the IBL, but it's not getting sniped from us again. Lickilicky is a very, very good Pokemon in the fact that it just can sit there and wish, protect, pass it to another mon. It's very, very good. It gives us another knockoff user as well. So now we have how many knockoff users? We have Tentacruel, Gliscor, and now Lickilicky. So it is very, very good. And the reason Lickilicky is such a good wish passer, well, one, because of base 110 HP, which is insane. But another reason is because of Oblivious, which means you cannot be taunted. So Pokemon that want to try and stall break and taunt Lickilicky, no. That's not happening today. And it gives us another Cleric as well, which is not something I've really been mentioning this analysis, but it is our 3rd Cleric, I believe, since we have Aromatherapy in both Comfey and Serena, and now Heal Bell in Lickilicky. So it puts the pressure off of them. Lickilicky also gets an incredible moveset, which we can take advantage of, and some very, very interesting moves that could come into play, especially since this is a league format. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to use Lickilicky, and I'm glad we can actually use it this time. And we can take advantage as well of Body Slam, which is a very, very good stab move, having that 30% chance to paralyze anything that comes in. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with Licky.
I think this one is going to be absolutely amazing, and I don't know how we're going to do it. There's going to be a lot of hacks that are involved, but I would like to land some Power Whips.
Oh god, Power Whip Lickilicky. Okay, we'll think about it. We can do
I
it.
mean, it's base 120. This
It is very, very powerful.
and Licky Licky's attack stat is pretty. It's pretty good. It's not that bad for it.
I was actually surprised. I just looked, and I was actually pretty surprised about how decent its special attack stat was. I didn't think it was base 80. I thought it was a lot lower than that, but no,
Yeah,
it's actually
it's
pretty
pretty good
decent.
too.
So yeah.
And all this time, we'd not been running, we'd not picked up a mega, and we were honestly really sure this Pokemon was never going to go. So we didn't have
Yeah.
to worry about picking up till very late in the draft. And now we are at the last 2 months of the team, and we decided we could wait for our final pick and let that be the final pick. But we decided to pick up the Mega now. We have, of course, we have the guy who likes to sit in the coal mine. Of course, I'm talking about Michael Cole, the Mega Sableye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got Mega Sableye, and I feel really bad because our team is literally, it's just so bulky. But Mega Sableye is definitely something I would say we needed this mon. Mega Sableye is very, very good. Not, well, that can be debated because it obviously got a bit of a nerf this gen with the Prankster. Um, since well, it doesn't work on dark types anymore. But Mega Sableye is very good because of Magic Bounce. Because we can bounce those hazards back if any wants to try and throw them our way. But as well, we can bounce back stuff like Toxic. And we can just sit there and calm mind freely whilst they kind of just sit there not really knowing what to do versus us. But yeah, Sableye also gets a very nice amount of priority actually in Shadow Sneak, Sucker Punch, Fake Out. And it also gets Knockoff, which is something that is always nice to have. So yeah, it also gives us a Taunt user, not a very good one because of how slow it is. But yeah, I think Mega Sableye will be very, very nice to run this season. And it's also one of those Megas that you don't really feel forced to bring every week, which is something that I think is very, very nice because things like, for example, Mega Lopunny, you feel because of how strong it is, you have to bring it every single week. Whereas Mega Sableye is a bit different in the fact that it doesn't really work versus every single matchup. So we can bring better Pokemon to suit that matchup instead of just having to rely on Sableye all the time. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with this Mega. And obviously the Dark Ghost type means it's only weak to Fairy, which we are very, very nice versus with Jirachi, Arcanine, and Tentacruel again. And Mega Sableye was definitely, it was kind of our second pick that we wanted to build around, which is surprising how we picked it up so late, but like Joe said, we really didn't expect it to go at all, really. So yeah, we got Mega Sableye on the team.
I mean, the only other team that didn't pick up a Mega until really late in the game is the Ludicolo, and that's because they wanted so much power they had to drain themselves by having to pick up a tier 5 Mega, which I'm okay with. I mean, Mega Camerupt's a pretty interesting mon for them to pick up, but like, it's really hard to, go that far down the Mega tier.
Yeah, the thing is about their team is it's kind of half of it's pretty fast in like Infernape, Salamence, Heliolisk, and Tornadus, and then the other half is just completely slow, like Rheuniclus, Crawdaunt, Diancie, Mega Camerupt. So they do have two Trick Room users in Diancie and Rheuniclus, but they can't really get momentum off of them into Mega Camerupt. So I don't know. Very interesting Mega choice. I mean, I'm using Mega Camerupt at the moment, and I absolutely love it because I have Mew on that team as well. So what I do is I just Trick Room up with the Mew, and then I U-turn out into the Camerupt. So I have, what is it, 3 or 4 turns of Trick Room to use with Mega Camerupt. So it basically picks up 4 kills because of how strong Mega Camerupt is. But yeah, we weren't obviously worried about Mega Sableye going. So that's why we did pick it up so late. So yeah, that's Mega Sableye, and we're moving on to the final pick of the draft. So, let's see.
Okay, so round 11, the final pick, and I really like the one we picked up. I mean, to tell you the truth, I'd been thinking that Gligger was tier 1 all this time throughout the draft. I was thinking to myself, Gligger is tier 1. Gligger is tier 1. I can't afford to pick up my next mon. And I kept on thinking to myself this. I assured myself so much that I thought we'd have to pick up something like Gerda or some kind of, or Primeape or something like that. But I actually realised Gligger is tier 2. And so was Hornswoggle. So we actually could pick this up, and we could have actually gone for a tier 3 fighting type, which would have been iffy, but, I still like this one over any of the tier 3 ones that were left over.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll talk about that.
Hirayama.
Yeah, we got Hariyama as our pick. I really like this mon. It's a good status absorber with guts. It's a good fat Pokemon with thick fat. And also it has sheer force. 3 amazing abilities in my opinion. But yeah, Joe was saying that we could actually have picked up a tier 3 with our pick instead of picking up Hariyama, which was a tier 4, I believe. Was it a tier 4?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And while there were some good fighting types in that tier, well, one, I wasn't actually I didn't reply straight away because I didn't actually see the message until a little bit later on. But yeah, the other fighting types that were in tier 3 was stuff like Mienshao, which would have been the one we would have gone for out of the many. But the thing is about Mienshao, you kind of have to rely on high jump kick, and relying on high jump kick is dangerous. But yeah, I think Mienshao would have been nice because it's a fast U-turner, which would have worked with our team, but I actually really like Hariyama. Base 144 HP stat, base 120 attack. And the thing is about Hariyama as well, it gives us priority in Fake Out. It gives us Bullet Punch as well. And Hariyama is a very, very big problem. With that Assault Vest, it can be very, very bulky. And hard to deal with, to be honest, because of how bulky it is, you want to just poison it, but then if you poison it, you've just made this thing really, really powerful. So it is a very, very scary mon, and I'm really, really happy we got it actually. And it can pull off some things, but if we do need to end up trading the Hariyama off, if we don't feel like it's working as well, we can do that. So we're really not too worried about it. So yeah, we got Hariyama, which also gets some very interesting moves. But yeah, what do you think about Hariyama?
I really like this mon. This mon could do some really good work. I mean, look at that. Again, another base 120 attack stat. Again, amazing HP stat here. Not so good for special attack, but the fact is you're not going to be wanting to do any of special attacking moves with this thing. You're going to be wanting to do some bulk, you're going to be wanting to do some physical attacks, and most importantly, you're going to be wanting to take a hit with that amazing HP.
Definitely. So, yeah.
And one mon I was going to suggest you, absolute worst case scenario, Hirayama goes, Gerda goes, Primeape goes, I was going to suggest Throw. And I don't know why I was going to suggest Throw, but I was going to suggest Throw to you once.
Throw, I actually wouldn't have been that against Throw, because Throw is one of those Pokemon that I haven't actually seen in League format before, surprisingly. I think it's mainly because its main stab is probably Circle Throw, I would say, which isn't a great fighting stab. But, I mean, I wouldn't have been that against Throw, to be honest. But yeah, I definitely think Hariyama is very nice for us. But yeah, like we said, if we do feel like Hariyama isn't really working, we can always trade it off for one of the other fighting types that remain which are like Mian Shao, which is a very good one, but stuff like Heracross as well is still available. So we'll see what we can do. Um, but yeah, overall, I'm very, very happy with the draft. I mean, we didn't get sniped once, so, you know.
No, we didn't get sniped once, and we sniped a few people, so that's
Mhm.
always a good thing.
Exactly.
So I really like our draft. I know you really like our draft. Battles should be, I believe, Monday is the upload day for the WSS this year. And I think they've got there's some weird rules this year. Like, you've got to have your battle scheduled by the Friday, but you've got to have had the match by the Sunday to upload on the Monday.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes
I know
sense,
Auto
but
is that kind of way. That's the thing about
I
Auto.
think
He
does
is
seem
like
very
full.
organized and kind of you got to do this by this and this. But yeah, he does seem like he would take that way. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, he manages like 4 or 5 different leagues, so that's
Oh,
why he's
wow.
probably like this.
Yeah, and I mean, if he does manage all those leagues and if they are working out for him, then I mean, I guess it works for him. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be looking forward to this season. I hope you guys are too. If you enjoyed today's episode of the draft analysis for the WSS, get hyped for the battles. Our first match is going to be against the Adelaide Haunch-Crows. My God, am I going to have a hard time trying to organise a match for that one, but I will see what I can do. And we'll hopefully have our match, and you'll get your first round 1 match of the WSS next Monday. So good luck to my opponents for that. Good luck to everyone whose coaches are in the WSS. Go and check out their links. They're down in the description below. Of course, if you're watching this on VidMe, go ahead and leave a upvote for the channel. Of course, leave a comment over there as well. Go and check out my assistant coach, Darude Leaf Storm. He's in a load of other leagues, and he is my assistant coach over here too. I don't know how he finds time to do all these things and supply content for his own channel, but he does it, and he's amazing. Go and check him out.
Thank you. But one thing before we end this off, you said our first week of the WSS. I think you mean our first Comfy sweep of the WSS, right? Yeah, that's what you meant, right?
Yeah, let's try it. We'll see what happens.
But yeah, I would personally like to thank you all for watching as well, because the support does help us out a lot. And yeah, I'm really happy with the team for this season of the WSS. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, not much else to say here.
No.
So yeah.
Okay, so until next time, and until week 1, I'm Joe's PH Games, your coach Jesse Chinchows, and of course, my assistant coach, Darude Leaf Storm. Good to say goodbye here.
Yep. I'll see you all later, I guess, when Comfy 6-0s. But
we'll see. Still, I'm not sure. In my abilities. I'm sure in Conby, not sure in my abilities.
You got this.
But we'll honestly see. But until next time, I'm just PH Games, he's Darude Leaf Storm, and we're out. See you again.
Peace.